Good morning, fam. It's Erica with Not Your Average Life, and today we are going to talk about my 3 favorite knives that I would recommend to anybody in the EDC community. I am not the biggest part of that anymore, but I do love my knives. I use them all day, every day. That'll never change, so I figured I would make like a top 3 video of knives that I think everyone should try if you consider yourself a knife nut or a hobbyist or just a part of the EDC community. These are my I've been obsessed with these 3 models. I don't even know how many years, but it has just never changed. I'm just obsessed with these models, and I think everyone should try them at some point if they are able to get their hands on them. So I'm sure some of you guys can guess which 3 these are. I'll give you a second. Try to guess here. I'll give you a hint. One is an Emerson, one is a Benchmade, and one is a Chris Reeve. Now you definitely know what they are. So these are not in any particular order. These are just my all-time faves. So the first one is the Emerson Mini A100. Now I probably should kind of like give a quick disclaimer here per usual. These are knives that I would recommend to anyone to try to use if they use their knives, right? So this is none of these, well, maybe the Chris Reeve, but these are not knives that you're going to appreciate really if you don't use your knives. I think people would find them maybe overbuilt or chunky or not the best cutters geometry wise, but like if you really use your knives and maybe use them for multi-tools on occasion, I think you would appreciate these, like if you're in a blue collar field or something. So I will just give that quick disclaimer. If you are into like geometry cuts, just turn off the video. You're not going to appreciate these. But if you use your knives, I have been saying for years that the Emerson Mini A100 is really worth trying. This is the most overbuilt model in the lineup. It is just something that I have been obsessed with since I got it. This is the knife that I did the renovations with at one of my old jobs when I was renovating. It was a warehouse, and I was a maintenance mechanic and production line worker, and this is the knife that I did that with. Man, everything about the Emerson Mini A100 is just incredible to me, especially the handle. This is my favorite part of the knife, is this freaking handle. Also, sorry that the dogs are like, you might be able to hear them eating their breakfast. They had a frozen Kong with like a bully stick stuck in the middle, so you might hear occasional growling, licking, suckling, and chewing. Yeah, they're eating breakfast. So the handle is the biggest, like, point for me here. There is just nothing really that I have found that replicates the Emerson Mini A100 handle. It's just perfect because there's literally not a single nothing that tells you what to do with this handle. It is just a straight frickin' brick. I love that you can hold this any which way and just go to town with it. Also, the G10, you guys know Emerson G10 is vicious, which I love. This still has a good amount of bite after who knows how many years, I don't know, 5 maybe. Still a good amount of bite. It has worn down a little bit, but just insanely grippy. Love that you can take this thing apart with like household tools and a penny. You can, I mean, the pivot is just a flathead. You can use a penny to adjust your pivot. Everything else is like Phillips. Very easy to work with. Love the Emerson pocket clip. It is a really reliable pocket clip. I've never had one bend out on me. They're just great. Incredible action, contrary to belief. You can have Emersons with good action. They just have to break in. And yes, they come with that copper infused grease, but That is there for a reason to break in those silicone infused washers. This thing is very smooth. Very, very smooth. Everything about the Emerson Mini A100 is just incredible for me. And if you're somebody who doesn't need, like, precision all the time or geometry to do your cuts and you just are kind of messily cutting things open, oh, it's a good one. It's a really good one. And I've always loved the chisel edge. Emerson, the 154 cm from Emerson just sharpens up so nice, man. Edge retention, obviously not going to be the best. It is like subpar, but that's the point of it. It's very forgiving. You can sharpen it in the field. You can sharpen it on a rock, and it won't chip out on you. It'll just roll. But, oh my goodness. Just look at that shine, baby. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. And that blade shape? Like, everything about the Emerson Mini A100 is just incredible for me. I've had 3 or 4 of them come through my collection. This is the only one I have right now. I just don't ever see myself not having an Emerson Mini A100. I think they're absolutely fantastic. And especially for using this tip, if you do poking and prying and drilling and stuff, look at how thick that is. You're just not going to break that. I use this a lot as a pry bar. I will say that. And it can just really do some hard work. So, Emerson Mini A100, if you can try one out, if you can borrow one from a friend, oh, please try one. They're just incredible. The Benchmade is up next. You all good? Yep. Okay, we're all good. The Benchmade is up next. Do you want to guess which Benchmade it is? You may know if I show you, like, now you know what that is, right? Benchmade 940. A knife that everyone should try, and a lot of people have. We all know that Wrangler Star kind of started the 940 train, right? He was preaching about it for years. He has probably sold more Benchmade 940s than Benchmade has themselves. I think Cody is the one that really sold most of those. It's just a tried and true classic, guys. Everything about it is perfect. Slim, lightweight, perfect length. Incredibly shaped blade. If you lay that edge back to 15 degrees per side like I did, it slices, it cuts way better than the factory bevels. I think it comes at like 17 maybe, 17 degrees per side. I laid mine back to 15. Much better. Axis lock, you can't beat it. If you have an OG clip on yours, can't beat it. They come with these clips. Mine is, the color is stripped off of it, but that clip, man, can't beat a Benchmade OG clip. Very similar to the Emerson clip. Really similar. Just incredible retention. Feels the best in hand. I feel like these types of clips feel the least intrusive in hand. They just kind of flow with the knife. I'm kind of tired of like all of these fancy pocket clips that are like deep carry and stuff. Like some of them are good, but just I've realized you just can't beat an OG Benchmade or Emerson clip, man. They're great. Ergonomics are fantastic because you really don't have much going on there. Great reinforced reverse tanto tip for poking and drilling and prying. Oh, it's just incredible. Action is just still silky smooth after all these years. I don't even know how long I've had this one. I've had this one since my early 20s, so probably 7 years of use. Just look at how beautiful it has aged. You can use this back area for a pommel. I've done that. I do have videos and testing on all of these, by the way, on the Use Your Shit playlist and the Knife Reviews playlist and the EDC Knives Updates playlist. Tons of videos on these, by the way, if you are like new to the channel and just seeing this now. Oh man, it's just a fantastic model. This one I actually tested twice because my first go around with it, I broke the tip off of it a little bit. Doing something just so stupid, like disclaimer, it was stupid. But I did test this a second time for 30 days because I laid the edge back to 15 degrees per side, and it literally changed my final review of it. So we have one review with the factory edge, and we have one review with the 15 degrees per side edge. Everybody's finishing breakfast. Just try one. If you don't need thin and slicey, try it out. Okay, we're creating a band right now, drinking water. Okay. Cove is literally making a one-man band. Hey, bud. Maybe, okay, I think we're done. Hopefully. Okay, the last one that we're going to talk about is the Chris Reeve Small Sebenza 31. This one I did testing with. This one is the one that I did a construction job with. Oh, if you can afford to buy one to try out or borrow one from a friend, guys, the Sebenza is just fucking awesome. I had a love-hate relationship with this for a while. I won't even get into that whole thing there. I have so many videos showing the timeline of, like, my evolution with the Sebenza. And in the end, after years and years of trial and error... Erica, please turn your phone on silent when you are doing videos. For the love of God. In the end, we just ended up loving the Sebenza. Everything about it, all of the work that Chris Reeve put into this knife. One of the best, guys, if not the best. It's just incredible. A great slicer. Again, if you lay the edge back to 15 degrees per side, it's even better, but this one, oh, look at that shine. Freehand, baby. Nice, thin, hollow grind. Every detail of this knife is just perfection. Look at that rounded spine. Like the aesthetics of this. The jimping, oh my goodness. But it's a hard use knife, dude. That lock, beefy. Reeve integral lock. Oh, it's just great. The hydraulic action, everything about it. Yes, you can make them like drop shutty. I have one that is very smooth, but man, they're just great knives, and the tolerances and the attention to detail on these, it's just something that everyone should experience, really. Oh, they're just great, especially if you can try a 21. Where's my 21? This is a 31. I have a 21 as well. Yeah. If you have a friend that loves you enough to let you try their old school 21, now that's a treat. This is my 21 that I've had for a very long time. Really thick bevel in this one. This one's at 15 degrees per side. This one is just a thick boy. I have just used and abused this one. I've had this since I was a young adult. There's no texturing on this anymore. Because I have just put so many snail trails on it. I'm trying to pick those up. This front-facing camera is just not really good, but I hope you can see how dull it looks compared to like a newer one. See how there's not really, you don't have that shine on this. It's still got that blasted coat. This one is just like shiny. It's so worn out. But mostly the tolerances, guys. Can you get knives that kind of look like a Sebenza? Of course you can. There are many. But the Sebenza experience is just different. It's very special. And if you can get your hands on one and try one, you really should, because if you just sit there and look at every aspect of a Sebenza, it's the quality, oh my lord, everything, even the engraving, the hardware, everything is just beautiful. It's really something to experience. Cutting and slicing with it, fantastic. Processing game with it, fantastic. I have a video of me processing a wild hare that the dogs hunted with this one. That video is on the Use Your Shit playlist. But look at that. The micarta that Chris Reeve uses. I think he just wants attention today because he's just like continuously making noise here. Okay. The micarta that Chris Reeve uses is just beautiful. It's almost like a zigzag pattern. It looks like a zigzag like this, like little tiny mountains. I don't know if you can see, mine's so worn out, but when you initially get it, it's a very beautiful pattern. You get the inlay version. I feel like the jimping is just super comfy. Lack of ergonomics, which is something that we look for in the Use Your Shit world. It's just a home run, guys. Also, this bead is from Nice Guy Machine Company. Everyone always asks about that. Nice Guy Machine Company on Instagram. He also has a website. This is the B01 bead in Ultim, in case you're wondering. Best bead ever for knives. Try out a Sebenza, guys. Seriously. You can also try out the Nkosi. Another great one, but in my opinion, the Sebenza, for numerous reasons, is superior. I do have a small Nkosi here. Smaller than the small Sebenza by a landslide. But the one thing about the Nkosi for me, the reason why it's not in my top 3 recommended, is just because you have to, in my opinion, you have to have a very specific hand size for this little finger grip area. For me, my hands lock right in because I have small hands, but I just feel like when a knife handle tells you where to put your fingers, it's just really not the best idea. In my opinion, it's not something that I enjoy as much. And the Nkosi is so overbuilt, it's really cool. This one I have beat to shit. It's definitely a very cool knife with some really cool features, but again, just a little small, a little overbuilt, and a little weird with that handle. So not as precious as the Sebenza, in my opinion. But I have pride with this thing. I have drilled, I have processed game, I have cut shit out of ceilings, I have scraped paint, I have pulled brackets out of windows. It just never fails, guys. The Sebenza just doesn't... Oh, this one is a drop shot. Weird. This one just doesn't fail. I thought that my 21 was the only one I could get to do that. Man, this one's so broken in from so many years, it just... Bloop. Tried and true, guys. Classic. Try one out if you can. I guess that's it. Yeah, just needed to do a little knife nerd stuff today. I don't really have any knives anymore. My collection is so small now that I just sit around and look at these sweet little honeys all day. Because it's basically all I got at this point. But for a reason, man, you can't beat these if you use your knives, guys. You can't. Give them a chance, try them out. I really, recommend contacting a friend and seeing if they'll let you borrow one, because they're not cheap, right? We know that the Mini A100 is fucking $230. Benchmade $940. Who knows at this point what? It's got to be $240, $270, something like that, I would figure, because the prices are so inflated. Small Sebenza, ooh, geez, $500 at this point, probably, something like that. Especially if you've got inlays. They're not cheap, guys. They're not cheap knives. Ask a friend if you can borrow one to try one out. That way, if you don't like it, you can send it back and you didn't have to blow your money. But something worth trying. Tried and true, my favorites. That's it for today, guys. I will see you on the next video. Somebody recommended that when we're talking about knives, we still say go use your shit. I guess I can do that for y'all. So, go live your life, but also go use your shit. And I will see you on the next video. I love you all very, very much. Everybody's saying goodbye. Bye, guys. See you soon.